How to Talk About Your Organization is the fourth episode in the Rockrose Foundation Application Guide video series. We recommend watching all the episodes to have a full understanding of our grant application process and expectations. In this video, we will talk about how to respond to Rockrose Foundation application questions about your organization's structure, goals, and programming. You can find links to the application and other resources mentioned in this video on our website. It's important to note that this video series is specifically designed with the Rockrose Foundation grant application in mind. While much of the information may be helpful in completing applications for other grants, you should always make sure you are aware of each individual grant's rules and expectations. We are excited to announce that our application is now digital. Hopefully, this will alleviate some of the technical challenges applicants have faced in the past. If you are experiencing technical difficulties with this application, please let us know right away. We've also tried to streamline the application to make it even easier and quicker for you to complete. We know your time is valuable, and we want you to be able to get back to your nonprofit work as quickly as possible. Please note that this web form does not save your work. If the page is refreshed without submitting, you will have to start from scratch. It is strongly recommended that you preview the questions, write your answers in a separate Word document, and paste everything in when you are ready to submit. Remember, it is okay to update and revise answers from other applications for this one. The application starts with a cover page. Here, we need to know the basic facts about your program or organization. This information helps us verify your eligibility and is used for our own due diligence and IRS compliance purposes. Please take the time to complete this information accurately, as it will impact our ability to communicate effectively with you. The cover sheet starts with overall organizational information. We use your legal name and EIN to look your organization up in state and federal databases, so please make sure what you enter matches any legal documents you have received from state or federal agencies. You might not have an EIN. That's okay. Remember, nonprofit status is not required in order to be eligible for Rockrose Foundation grants. The year founded typically refers to your entire organization or branch. However, if you are seeking a program grant, you can indicate when that specific program was started instead. Indicate on the application which you are referring to. Please enter the operating budget for your entire organization or branch. Scrolling down, we get to the contact information section. One of the most common problems we run into is not being able to contact the person responsible for answering questions. The individuals listed on the cover page should be able to respond to requests for additional information throughout the review process or have quick access to someone who can. Always double-check to make sure there are no typos in the contact info. We'd hate to be leaving messages for you on someone else's voicemail. We will do our best to use your preferred method of contact, but we recommend regularly monitoring your phone and email messages throughout the process and getting back to us as quickly as possible. Sometimes a quick question or clarification can make the difference between eligible and ineligible. A website or social media account aren't required, but if you have them, let us know. They can help us get to know you and the public-facing work you are doing better. Now it's time to enter specific project information. The project title helps us communicate clearly about your project. Total project cost is what you will need in order to complete the project. If you are asking for an operating grant, this number will be equal to the amount of funding you are requesting. If you are asking for a project grant or a capacity building grant, this number may be higher than what you are requesting from us if you are gathering funds from multiple sources. Note, it is good to be seeking funds from multiple sources. As discussed in previous videos, your mission statement should be brief. We're looking for one sentence summarizing your cause, your action, and your impact. You can find more information on how to write a strong mission statement in episode 3 of this series. As of 2025, our grants are offered at specific funding levels. Please select the amount that your program requires and be prepared to explain your selection in your budget narrative. If you select $5,000 or less, please state the exact amount that you are requesting in the text box that appears. It's okay to round this number to the nearest $100. If you are requesting more than $5,000, you have 3 choices: $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000. Choose the one that best fits your needs. We understand that this may mean that you are requesting less than your total project cost and seeking additional sources elsewhere, or slightly more than your total project cost. For example, if you need $14,000 for your project, it's okay to request $15,000. We do not recommend requesting significantly more than your total project cost. Note, in some cases, based on the funding available and the number of applications we receive, Rockrose Foundation may choose to offer a portion of your requested amount. It is then up to you to decide if you will be able to move forward with less funding than you requested. We understand that sometimes this isn't possible, and turning down the offer of a reduced grant has no negative consequences for your organization. Our narrative questions give you the opportunity to briefly describe your organization and proposal to us. Your answers will give us information on your expertise and commitment to the issue, help us understand how your idea matches our mission, and demonstrate how funding will directly impact a community or population. The questions are intended to focus your answers to your initiative, the results you hope to achieve, and how our funding can help you accomplish your goals. We are excited to get to know you and your idea, so please let your excitement and unique perspective show in your answers. Remember that many of the people reviewing your application are hearing about you for the first time. Make sure to include everything we need to know to understand the work you are doing. Finally, don't overthink the questions. I promise we're not trying to trick you. We're trying to get to know you and your idea as best we can. If you've watched from the beginning of the series, this slide will look familiar. It's so important, we've included it twice. We've noticed a heavy reliance on AI-written narrative answers in the past. We do not recommend using AI to write your narrative responses. AI-written answers often lack personality and the specific details that make your organization or program different from everyone else. We can tell you from experience that AI gives just about the same answer to everyone who inputs the same question. In past cycles, we've received several applications with almost identical wording for certain questions. We would much rather hear your voice coming through. While it's always a good idea to make your best effort at sounding professional, we are willing to overlook the occasional spelling or grammar mistake. AI will never be able to explain your vision with the same passion and specificity as you. Instead of turning to AI, we recommend giving yourself plenty of time to work on the application and asking a trusted friend to read it when it's done. Fresh eyes can often spot mistakes you've missed or point out areas where a few more details are needed. If you do use AI, we recommend doing some heavy editing to make its stock answers original to you. Remember, AI is designed to write something that sounds like an answer, not an actual answer. Where it says you will create a plan, you need to add specifics about the plan you've actually created. Where it says you will create a diverse range of activities, you need to list those activities out for us. In summary, we care more about your program and your passion than your ability to write perfectly. Before you start writing your answers, we recommend scrolling through the questions. Each question is meant to learn something new about your program or organization. If you find yourself writing the same answer repeatedly, consider reading the questions again to see what each one is focused on. The questions an organization asks can tell you a lot about their interests, priorities, and collaborative style. Hopefully, our questions demonstrate that we're looking for authentic and collaborative relationships, that we care about diversity and direct community impact, that we're looking for a deep understanding of the problem you're trying to solve, including what's already been tried, and that we are seeking thoughtful, well-planned-out programs bringing fresh perspective to old problems and authentic relationship-based solutions. You also want to make sure you understand the application's guidelines. For example, we have set a maximum limit of 300 words. If you've only written a couple of sentences, we probably won't have enough information to really understand. If you've written a 5-page essay, you may be confusing us with too many details. Aim for 2 to 3 solid paragraphs. If bullet points or an outline format make it easier to organize your thoughts, those are fine. A quick aside about safety. While there are a lot of caring, well-intentioned people in the world of philanthropy, there are also some bad actors willing to cause harm to others for their own benefit. If anything feels off or suspicious about an application, always trust your gut. Take the time to do more research or consult with experts before entering into financial relationships with anyone. Legitimate grant applications do not have fees or require you to send money. You are your organization's first line of defense. Be careful. Narrative responses are a great place to make connections between your work and the work our foundation is doing. There's a big difference between finding connection and telling us whatever you think we want to hear regardless of the truth, though. Be authentic and honest in everything you share with us. Building a trust-based relationship is a two-way street. One common mistake we see in narrative responses is the phrase, "We're the only ones doing this work." Most often, this just makes it seem like you haven't done your research. Instead, focus on what makes you stand out from the others working in your focus area. When it comes to describing your program, please include what you've already done to get to this point, what you still need to do to prepare for launch, and how your action steps relate to your goals and objectives. If your program is educational in nature, please include information about the educational experience of involved staff and volunteers and a copy of your curriculum, whether it's something you have purchased or something you are developing yourself. This silly graphic draws attention to one of the most common weaknesses we see in applications, a lack of specificity about how you are going to implement your idea. Don't let a weak plan sink your application. Make sure you are showing a clear and actionable path from your vision to your successful impact in the community. Hopefully, you're feeling confident about how to complete the cover page and narrative portions of our application at this point. You can find links to the resources mentioned in this video on our website at www.rock-rose.org. Our Executive Director, Kelsey Hunt, is happy to answer questions about the Foundation and our grant application. You can reach her directly via email at kelsey@rock-rose.org. In the next video, called How to Talk About Your Budget, we will talk about how to respond to Rock Rose Foundation application questions about your organization's budget.